The thorough exclusion of Tozama Daimyo from the Tokugawa Shogunate's core power had a clear, undeniable reason. Hidden behind this was the meticulous strategy of Tokugawa Ieyasu, architect of a later age of unprecedented peace. Heavy burdens, including the grueling Sankenkotai and costly castle constructions, were imposed on the Tozama Daimyo, obligations never placed upon the Fudai. But in truth, an even more astonishing secret lay beneath. What was this line of fate that irrevocably divided the Fudai and Tozama? This documentary will delve into why Fudai and Tozama were separated, the true reasons behind the Tozama Daimyo's exclusion from power, and how they confronted the shogunate for 260 years. Now let's uncover that truth. In this episode, we'll also reveal the shogunate's ingenious control measures, born from a deep fear of Tozama Daimyo retaliation. Crucial to understanding the Tokugawa Shogunate is the fundamental distinction between Fudai and Tozama Daimyo. Fudai Daimyo refers to those loyal vassals who pledged allegiance and fought alongside the Tokugawa clan from its earliest, weaker days. Families such as the Sakai and Honda, who served as Ieyasu's inner circle and commanded his unwavering trust, exemplify the Fudai. They formed the shogunate's vital core, monopolizing crucial posts like Roju and Wakadoshiori. They were, in essence, the very backbone of the Tokugawa regime. Conversely, Tozama Daimyo were those lords who had not pledged fealty to the Tokugawa clan before the pivotal battle of Sekigahara. Powerful daimyo with vast territories, including the Shimazu, Mori, and Date clans, often fell into this category. Having submitted to the Tokugawa only after the Battle of Sekigahara, they were perpetually regarded as objects of suspicion by the shogunate. Though formally daimyo, their treatment differed as profoundly as heaven and earth from the Fudai. They were, in essence, second-class citizens within the shogunal system. This fundamental distinction would become the very bedrock of the Edo shogunate's governance, enduring for 260 years. So, why did Ieyasu so rigorously enforce these two distinctions, maintaining perpetual vigilance against the Tozama Daimyo? The Battle of Sekigahara was Tokugawa Ieyasu's decisive stroke towards national unification, yet it also presented a profound and ongoing threat. Daimyo who allied with the Western Army in this pivotal conflict faced severe reductions in territory, or even outright confiscation of their domains. Most Tozama Daimyo had either sided with the Western Army or maintained neutrality, ultimately forced to submit to Ieyasu. To leave them unchecked would create a tinderbox, poised to ignite rebellion at any moment. Ieyasu would tolerate no such threat. Therefore, Ieyasu ingeniously devised a system to erode the Tozama Daimyo's power and render them incapable of rebellion. Firstly, the domains of the Tozama Daimyo were strategically positioned in distant western provinces and Kyushu, far from the capital of Edo. This geographical isolation made coordination difficult, deliberately hindering any potential for rebellion. Moreover, a system was implemented to divide and monitor the Tozama by strategically interspersing Fudai daimyo domains between them. For instance, crucial strongholds in western Japan were secured by Shinpan and Fudai daimyo, effectively sandwiching the Tozama lords. In this manner, Ieyasu forged an unshakable system of governance. But how, specifically, did he strip them of their influence? Participation in shogunal politics was, fundamentally, denied to Tozama daimyo, a profoundly significant reality. All principal shogunal offices, including Roju, Wakadoshiori, and Omsuk, were exclusively held by Fudai daimyo. The input of Tozama daimyo was almost never reflected in the shogunate's crucial policy decisions. Furthermore, control via the Byukushohato, or laws for the military houses, was absolute. This decree severely curtailed the daimyo's autonomy. Specifically, the arduous Sankenkotai, or alternate attendance system, became the single greatest burden for Tozama daimyo. This biennial journey between Edo and their domains demanded enormous expenditures and vast manpower, perpetually straining their treasuries. Additionally, large-scale public works, such as castle repairs and river embankments, known as Tenkabushin, were frequently commanded of the Tozama Daimyo. These immense burdens deliberately made it impossible for Tozama Daimyo to amass military power or accrue funds for potential rebellion. Through this deliberate financial and human exhaustion, the shogunate effectively neutralized the Tozama Daimyo's latent threat. And so, for 260 years, the Tozama Daimyo remained excluded from power. But did they simply acquiesce? Though distanced from the core of power, the Tozama Daimyo were far from impotent. They forged an alternative path. They poured their energies into governing their own domains, cultivating unique economic foundations and distinct cultures. For instance, domains like Satsuma, under the Shimazu clan, amassed wealth through the Ryukyu trade, while Chashu, Mori clan, even engaged in illicit trade. They frequently fostered talented individuals, initiating administrative reforms and promoting industry within their respective domains. Under the shogunate's rigorous control, they paradoxically solidified their own distinct identities. As the Bakumatsu era dawned, the accumulated power of these Tozama Daimyo would dramatically reshape the course of history. Powerful Tozama domains like Satsuma, Chashu, Tosa, and Hizen rose as dominant forces, directly confronting the shogunate. As the shogunate's authority faltered, they became the driving force behind both opening Japan to the world and the overthrow of the shogunate itself, ushering in the Meiji Restoration. The 260 years of systematic exclusion from power ironically culminated in the very energy that would bring about the shogunate's downfall. The Fudai and Tozama, two factions that shaped the Edo period. What enduring legacy did their conflict bestow upon Japan's future? Fudai and Tozama were segregated purely by their degree of loyalty to the Tokugawa clan. Were they early vassals, or did they submit after Sekigahara? That was the sole determinant. The Tozama Daimyo's exclusion from power was Ieyasu's strategy to neutralize potential threats and establish the shogunate's impregnable system of rule. Though exhausted by Sankenkotai and Tenkabushin, they focused intensely on developing their own domains. This accumulated power then erupted during the turbulent Bakumatsu period. The Tokugawa Shogunate's ingenious governance strategy indeed ushered in 260 years of unprecedented peace. Yet, simultaneously, this very discrimination may have critically shaped the turning point of the era that ultimately arrived.
History still hides untold stories. Subscribe for more forgotten history.